Azi mfethu ade ngibuka le video kaZandile le Operation Dudula. Ufuna ukusebenzisa abalandeli bebhola ukuze afese inhloso zakhe ze-Operation Dudula. Guys, ukuthi bafethu nenkinga nabantu bokufika hayi sonke. Sibaningi sikabalandeli bebhola but ade ngibuka le video yenzile ayi yabona imfethu leya fanele uyidelete nganoma fanele wenze njani but ayenzi sense. Yezwa le nto le kuprovela ukuthi lento eyikhulumayo udoti wento. Ubani umlandeli weZimbabwe obesenkingeni ngenxa ukuthi ubese groundini support iZimbabwe? Ubani oshawa omunye? Angithi wena upromote asifunana ama South African awafuna amaZimbabwean. Ade khona amaZimbabwean egroundini. Iliphi iZimbabwe nelishayiwe lishayo ukuthi belise groundini support iZimbabwe. Come on guys, nimuzana ukupush iGen. Yabona manje usuyifaka endaweni errong. Uyifaka endaweni errong. Unabadlali abasuka eZimbabwe abadlala la eSouth Africa. Abacontribute ema teamini la eSouth Africa. Ibhola hlangene nayo yonke lento enifuna ukuyenza. Ipolitika idlalele le, ibhola idlalele le. Ngahlanganisa into engahlangani. Ubuqala ngisho kuye groundini, usuzosikhulumela le nonsense efuna ukuyikhuluma la. Hayi kahle mfethu, kahleni bafethu. Ilwe ipolitika ngendlela efanele uyilwe ngayo, ilwe ipolitika ngepolitika, usukuthatha ezinye izinto engahlangene nepolitika uyifake kupolitika. Cha ukuthi iyancasula lento because be egroundini abantu inqwaba ade bese groundini. Egroundini ihlezi kunjana, hlezi sibhifana ngenxa ukuthi isport siyacompete. Makuhlela abalandeli be-Sundowns ne-Pirate egroundini, ukubona ihlezi kunjani egroundini. Kuyahwayelwana kumnandi bacula laba bayakhala laba ngene igoli kude kuje nabaZimbabwe bekuyifana bekuyinto eyi-1 but ukuthi wena upromote ukuthi bekuzondwana egroundini. It's sport, ibhola. Hayi bafethu manje hlula ipolitiki shonini kuyahlula ipolitiki abantu be-South Africa abafuna ukusilandela bonke. Qhubeka nale ngcosana ehamba nani laba bo-200 abafuna ukwenza yonke le nonsense enifuna ukuyenza.
So, I thought I should just update you on this. Izolo was the 10th of October. As you know, that South African Human Rights Commission summoned us to court, and we went to court. And after court, we then decided with some patriots, let's go and support Bafana Bafana, because there was a soccer match between Zimbabwe and South Africa in Moses Mabhida Stadium. And we went, and I must say, I sat there and I observed the attitude of South Africans towards foreigners. Guys, we are sitting on a time-ticking bomb. Now, it even went to a point where South Africans were like, Asfun Khalanani, Habanu Hlalele. Now, this was because of the attitude, the arrogance. Some Zimbabweans bad guys. And South Africans are like, not here. That was the attitude that I've observed is all. South Africans are hurtful. And, if government is not going to do anything about this immigration crisis we are facing as a country, we are on a time-ticking bomb. It's going to explode anytime soon. And I don't think government is ready for that. But I thought, let me just share my experiences. Since I was with the masses, a stadium, and I sat there and I observed. But yeah, that's what it is.
Good morning. I just want to respond to Zandile. I was at the stadium. There were some South Africans sitting with Zimbabweans without any problems. Even after the match, we greeted each other. So like my sister, you need to stop lying. I don't know why you hate us so much. Maybe that story, we were told that you had a kid with Zimbabweans or you are from Zimbabwe. It sounds like it's true now. You need to stop lying. Why you hate us so much?
Zandile's recent attendance at the soccer game between South Africa and Zimbabwe reveals once again the depth of a misplaced obsession with stoking division among Africans. For someone who has shown little or no interest in sports, her sudden enthusiasm for football seemed suspiciously selective, sparked only because the match involved Zimbabweans, a people she has made a career out of vilifying. What should have been a day of continental unity and joy, with fans from both nations singing, laughing and cheering together, became for her yet another opportunity to spread bitterness and resentment. While television coverage and social media were flooded with images of South Africans and Zimbabweans sitting side by side, wrapped in their nation's flags and exchanging smiles, Zandile saw only hate. She claimed that South African fans moved away from Zimbabwean fans or their Zimbabwean counterparts out of disdain. A claim both false and revealing. It shows that her perception is not guided by truth but by a deep-seated desire to confirm her own prejudices. Her world is so consumed by hatred that even scenes of fellowship and unity are twisted into evidence of division. What Zandile fails to understand is that a rivalry in football is not a sign of hatred. It's part of the game's very spirit. Rivalry creates excitement, competition, and identity for fans, but they rarely cross into true enmity. Take for example the long-standing rivalry between Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs supporters. These fans often exchange chants, tease each other, and even argue passionately. Yet, once the final whistle blows, they walk home together, share drinks, and return to being family and friends. The rivalry is symbolic, not hostile. It represents sporting pride, not hatred. But for Zandile, whose lens is clouded by animosity, even this healthy spirit of competition becomes evidence of division. She confuses rivalry with racism and passion with prejudice, exposing just how far removed from reality her worldview has become. This behavior is not only unbecoming of someone who calls herself a leader, but also profoundly dangerous. South Africa is grappling with unemployment, corruption, crumbling infrastructure, and a political class that has failed its people time and time again. Yet, instead of directing public anger and frustration towards those truly responsible, Zandile has chosen to scapegoat African migrants, particularly Zimbabweans, who share closer ancestral and cultural ties with South Africans than perhaps any other group on the continent. Her rhetoric distracts ordinary South Africans from confronting systemic failure and keeps them locked in circles of resentment against their own brothers and sisters. In doing so, she becomes not a leader but a manipulator, trading truth for populism and compassion for hate. What makes Zandile's conduct even more hypocritical is that she likely identifies as a Christian, a faith whose cornerstone is built on love, mercy, and neighborliness. Yet her words and actions stand in direct contrast to the parable of the Good Samaritan, a story that calls on believers to show kindness even to those they are thought to despise. To harbor such hatred for fellow Africans while claiming moral and spiritual authority is a height of contradiction. Ultimately, Zandile's crusade will not uplift South Africans, nor will it solve the problems she pretends to care about. Hatred has a way of devouring those who nurture it. If she continues on this path of division and hostility, the fire she is stoking against others will one day consume her, and by then, it may be too late to rebuild the bridges she has burned. I come in peace.
Hi, dear Zandile, Mrs. or Miss or Mnomzana or Dr. Angas Bazokbizan. When Zandile kahle unenkinga namaZimbabweans, unenkinga esiras gabing amaZimbabweans. But let's come to the fact. Just tell me something. Do you only recognize Zimbabweans as foreigners in South Africa? Secondly, please, can you show us? Don't use your stinky, dirty mouth saying South Africans, they were hurtful, or South Africans, they even said that. Can you show us a clip of a video where the South Africans, they were saying they're hurtful about Zimbabwe? Since you were there at the stadium to predict what is happening, you were not there to watch football. You didn't go there to watch football. Can you show the world and show FIFA the video where South Africans, they were saying they're hurtful about Zimbabweans? You've got a really problem. I think I'm not sure whether your medulla oblongata is functioning very well. I don't even know, because you're problematic with Zimbabweans. It has gone to an extra length that you yourself, as a black African woman, you only recognize Zimbabwean in this world as a foreigner in South Africa. You know what? Bathi ngesizulu zidla belindile. Uyabona lento yenzayo sisi, maybe mhlambe ayikufanelanga ungakhathali and ungadina bengabe bekupraise manje ukhukhumala uphakamisa amahlombe sisi wenza yonke into oyenzayo. Ube careful. Politics and footballs, these are two different things. Do not ever try and ruin the careers of the fathers who are providing for their families, okay? Because you've got anger against the Zimbabweans, my dear. Why when uthi usufika e-stadium, why ungazange uthi like isicela ukuthi ama-Zimbabweans ke angene ngama-ID or angene ngantontoni? buyeleni vele stadium as isithi angifuna uqamba amanga ungcolile umdaka ubolile. That's it.